their own definition of what is a good, well-performing laptop. For some, it's going to be the MacBook Pros with their good screen, their excellent trackpad, and how good they sound. Or maybe the Dell XPS lineup. They are pretty good also, and they are on pretty much the same level as the MacBook Pro. But let's put these six monsters away and let's focus on the Acer Aspire E15, and let's see if it can be also considered as a good performing laptop. Some people are willing to pay an extra for something that is more beautiful versus something that is more practical, especially if the product is from a well-known brand. If someone is looking for a laptop that has an excellent design and this is the only laptop left in the world, they'll be in trouble looking at it. It's not an ugly laptop per se, it's a bit on the bulky side, the screen bezels are huge if we compare it to a Dell XPS, the lid has a nice look of brushed metal to it, but there's also a little bit of flex here, and sometimes I feel like I can damage the screen if I don't pull the lid from the middle. Also, you can open it without holding the chassis. Those hinges aren't smooth enough for one-handed operation. The palm rest feels normal, it's not rugged, it's just plastic with no noticeable difference compared to other simple laptops. The only things that keep the laptop from looking plain boring are the metal texture of the lid and the chrome trim around the touchpad. The backlit keyboard is full size and the power button is situated in the function row, which I like. It's easy to press and slightly clicky. Feedback won't let you press it from multiple times to get it right. That's something I hate with the Dell Inspiron 5000. You have to actually press the button with a lot of force to actually get it to work, and if you don't do that, you'll have to reclick sometimes multiple times to get the laptop to turn on. The only downside for me here is the lack of any biometric authentication, but I feel that this option is still reserved for the more expensive one. You won't be able to unlock it with just a press of a button or use Windows allows camera to get past that login screen. The buttons have a nice click to them. But the key travel distance is on the short size at 1.1mm. So if you're the type of person who is relying on a good keyboard, like a blogger or a journalist, there are better options available like Lenovo ThinkPad lineup. A lot of people don't like the numeric pad, but also a lot of people love it, and I think that I'm in this category. I see these extra buttons as some pretty helpful shortcuts when I'm editing. The key spacing is excellent and springy. An actuation force of 72 grams give them a ready feel. Anything over 60 grams is ideal. All my life I've been using 15-inch laptop to go through my tasks, so the dimension doesn't bother me. It's on the heavy side with its 5 pounds, but that's totally up to you if you can live with that weight or not. If you're looking for a laptop that has a good selection of ports, you'll be served. On the right side, you'll find the power connector, a 8x DVD RW port, USB 2.0 and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Personally, I prefer the absence of the DVD player and the 2.0 port, but I know that can be convenient for some. But personally, I see it as wasted place. They could have put a bigger battery in there or a better cooling system. On the left side, you'll find a Kensington key, the heat output okay, that's not the port, a USB 3.1 Type-C, a VGA port, a HDMI, and 2 USB 3.0, and to complete the story, an SD card reader in the front left of the laptop. I don't think you'll ever encounter any problems related to ports in this laptop, but if you're the type of person who rely on a lot of other external peripherals, go off by buying a dongle. For disclaimer, I should come clear that the version that I am using right now is pretty obsolete. It has a 768p screen that has some very weird dimming at the corners of the screen, but I don't think that you'll encounter that problem in your configuration because mine got dropped a few times, and for a streaming ones. From what I've seen from other configuration, the 1080p model is able to reproduce 62.3% of the sRGB color gamut. The display reached a maximum brightness of 227 nits, which is par for the course for a budget model. The average budget laptops average 243 nits for the screen brightness and cover 88% of the sRGB color gamut. And this translates to the inability to correctly edit photos because you won't have a very accurate representation of what the colors look like. And also, if you work outside, you can forget about this laptop because the screen is very not so bright. And when I'm editing photos or my videos, I am forced to take a snapshot of what I am currently doing and send it over my smartphone that has a better color accuracy and judge the color from there. That's silly. And for the speakers, they are loud enough to fill an entire bedroom. But loud doesn't mean high quality. When you're listening to a music, the low ends are pretty inexistent. The vocals are a little bit good, but they sometimes can be covered up by instrument. But if you're looking for something that sounds okay overall, yeah, it will get the job done, like I said, but it's not like the best speaker available. For the configuration, your mileage will vastly vary because my configuration came with an Intel HD Graphics 620, 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM that I had to upgrade later to 8 because it was pretty unusable. The processor is able to go through all the basic tasks like web browsing, writing documents and such, but the overall responsiveness will be crippled by the spinning or drive. Hopefully you can add a SATA 3 or NVMe M.2 easily by removing some screws. And speaking of limits, I was able to also play some games. Not AAA modern games, but I was able to play some older titles relatively well, if well means 720p, low to medium settings. Yeah, the potato lie. The lack of discrete GPU won't get you a lot of frames per second in your games, and don't expect to play at Full HD with titles released after 2015. Also, check if you're using one of 2 sticks of memory. If your system only uses 1 stick, you can improve your game performance by adding a second stick. The memory controllers only have room for a 64 bits array of data flowing from the RAM to the CPU. So by adding a second stick of RAM, you can double the data bandwidth, and by doing this you will improve your gaming experience, will greatly improve by going dual channel. And this improvement is because the Intel HD 620 use shared memory alongside the RAM, but you'll have diminishing returns if you think that putting 16 gigs of RAM will give you more and more FPS. If the lack of shared memory was the problem, adding more past that won't get you any FPS. The thermals never got higher than 83 degrees, although you'll get through thermal and power throttling. The heat dissipation is good. The part that was harder in this laptop was the WSD area. The touchpad was a little bit wrong, but nothing that you can cook an egg on. The fans, even at their highest speed, they aren't loud enough, and if you're at a place where people are speaking, the only aid of it working out will be the heat coming from the chassis. I'm starting to think that mine isn't working perfectly. And for the battery life, you can expect 5 hours to 8 hours, but not much to say from me here because mine is practically a desktop because I can't unplug it. If I do, it will straight turn off because I don't have any battery in mine. To wrap it up, it's an excellent laptop under $500. Despite the dull screen, the somewhat bulky design, it's powerful enough to go through your daily tasks if you are a student, a photographer, a light video editor. But if you're a gamer, check another laptop in this price range like the Acer Nitro 5. And that's been it for today's video, guys. My name is Kensley. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next one.